And welcome to the latest episode of Rediscovered, which is my Let's Build series set in Vintage Story. Vanilla Vintage Story, to be exact. And up to this point, we have been working on our fortified house, and trying to advance our technology up a bit. And in the last episode, we finally were able to use an anvil and a hammer to create a saw. And from the saw, we were able to then start making things like barrels, which I had forgotten how to use, and I was trying to use like a bucket. So if you wanna see idiocy at its finest, I recommend you go back and watch that episode if you haven't already. But so with that said, I would like to take the whole barrel thing a little bit further this episode, and actually try to get leather production going, because that will enable several things, including the creation of these little backpacks that we can use to replace the little wicker baskets in my inventory, which will vastly improve my inventory. Plus, I mean, leather is useful for a whole bunch of other stuff, and with a little extra work, I hope to also be able to seal up the basement level in the fortified house, and time willing, we could prepare or actually start moving out of this little mud hut and into more permanent quarters. So we will be living in the basement of the permanent quarters because we don't have enough material yet to work on the upper floors. But all of that is a heap of awesome. So that we have our work cut out for us today, and I'm really looking forward to it. So let's put this dirt away. That used to be our door into this mud hut, but again, the saw has enabled us to make planks, which are useful for a number of different things, including regular doors. And the door will seal this room as a cellar. So there you go. Now I'm pretty sure for I'm gonna need a chisel. Well, guess what we're doing? We're gonna have to go forge a chisel. I'm pretty sure I need the kern, because I'm pretty sure I need to grind it to into a powder that I can add to a barrel of water to make lime water, and I'm pretty sure that's the first step of leather making. You soak the hides in there. The lime water will help break down the hair. You can scrape the hides, and then they're ready for the actual tanning or curing. So in case you didn't see this last time, we have a forge. That's the bit I'm adding charcoal to at the moment, and we will heat the forge up, and that will warm up our copper ingots to the point where they're glowing. And then once they're glowing, that means they're relatively soft, and then we can hammer the snot out of them into whatever shape we want, and then goodness ensues. So in this case, we're going to need to make a chisel, and chisels are really useful. Now, the danger of the chisel, let me put this over here, is that this game has a mechanic about chiseling blocks. You can take a block and you can take away voxels, and you can add voxels, and you can even mix and match materials in a single block. And it's practically a game unto itself. If I've seen many people play survival series Vintage Story and then get totally caught up in the chiseling aspect, and kind of lose track of everything else. you hear those stories about people who play like online role-playing games to the point where they forget to eat or go to work or whatever. Yeah, that's what chiseling is in Vintage Story. You can totally lose track of time with that. But I have 2 ingots here. I'm warming them both up, so I need. I don't need, but to make efficient use of the material, I think I'm going to use the second ingot to make a pair of copper shears, because we got to strip the leaves from trees before we come down to get the stuff in the leaves, and these shears allow you to do that really, really fast. So we'll give it a shot, so to speak. So the chisel is going to be ridiculously simple. I think it's just a single like rod of metal when we're done. There might be something else to it, but we'll see. So I think at this point we just cut pieces off. Oh, I do see. Yeah, there's. So it's not just a straight rod. It looks. Huh. So the chisel looks like I'm going to make it into a lollipop shape. Or a shovel. Simple shovel, perhaps. And there we go. It looks like a piece of yellow chalk or a pencil at the moment because it's glowing really freaking hot. It's like 1111 Celsius or bazillion Fahrenheit. Too hot for mortal hands. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah. So, there was an old Bonanza episode. If you don't know what Bonanza is, it's an old show. It's an old Western show from the 60s. And one of the characters was named Hoss. He was the biggest dude on the show. I mean, just physically biggest dude. But he was also like one of the nicest guys on the show. But anyhow, during this episode, he's sitting there and he's talking to the blacksmith, right? And blacksmith is working on a horseshoe, because that's what blacksmiths do. And of course, when a blacksmith's working on something, he has to do exactly what I'm doing here. You heat it till it's glowing hot, and then you pound the snot out of it till it's the shape you want it, and then you let it cool. And while Haas is talking to the blacksmith, they're getting really deep in this conversation, and the blacksmith sets aside a horseshoe he's been working on. It's no longer glowing hot, but it is still hot. And Haas isn't really paying attention to what he's doing, so he kind of absent-mindedly picks up the horseshoe as the blacksmith looks on. And of course, it burns the snot out of a hand, and he immediately drops it. And the blacksmith says, "Burned you, didn't it?" And Haas says, "No, it just doesn't take me long to look at a horseshoe." Oh, the good old days. Anyway, so every time somebody starts talking about forges and blacksmiths, that just comes up, and if I chuckle. So if you're ever around me and somebody says blacksmith and I start chuckling, that's why. Anyway, speaking old shows, it's interesting because my wife didn't grow up in this country, so she didn't grow up watching these shows in syndication after school like I did, and so like I think it was a long time ago, but I think Green Acres was the gateway drug to old American TV shows, and she loved Green Acres. In fact, she loved it so much that she, our friends who were from her country too, she got a DVD set for them for Christmas. It's like, oh, you got to watch this show. Anyway, So the latest old show that she's watching and she just absolutely loves is I Dream a Genie. Right. So goofy slapstick madcap silliness, and she's just eating it up, which is funny because if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you've heard me sometimes mention my wife, and you would get the impression that she's pretty serious and kind of a taskmaster, and she kind of is, but there are some things that will make her laugh or be very happy, and old slapstick comedy TV shows, that's one of them. So I always try to keep keep some links handy to point to old shows whenever possible. I'm still trying to figure out the logic of which ones I can pull up off the bottom layer and which one. Let's see. Yeah, I still don't understand the logic. Which ones I can and which ones I can't. I'm tempted to say there is no logic, but I've worked 30 plus years in technology. I know there's a logic. I just don't know what it is. And I'm hoping I can figure it out. Otherwise, I'm going to either have to scrap this piece or add a second piece, which will make this a very expensive pair of shears. That would be bad. Almost there. Oh, thank goodness. I'll be able to finish this. I would have been upset if I couldn't without adding more material. I mean, I would be in a sheer agony. Oh, gosh. As my daughters say, you crack yourself up. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So, August 2nd is upon us, and, there's still so much to do. We are one day closer to winter, and I need to quench these, because they're glowing hot. There we go. Okay, so this should make them cool enough that I can handle them, run around and do stuff with them, which is the point. There's not much point in making tools and watching them sit there, right? You want to be able to handle them to do stuff. That is the whole point. So let's see. What a mess. I still have storage issues. Yeah, I know we made a bunch of chests and stuff, but I kind of want to wait and set up all my proper storage when we move everything as part of moving out of here and into the house. But just a little bit more suffering. I can try to get this wood, logs, out of my inventory. And I got some peat I can get out of my inventory. Got some cobblestone here. We can go ahead and put this cobblestone in place. Get a little closer. And then Oops. Oopsie. So, I guess it's not limestone. It's granite cobblestone, right? I need limestone cobblestone. That's why it was in storage and not already in the castle or fortified house. So, oops. My bad, my mistake. Yeah, I should have remembered, because at this point, anytime I get my hands on some limestone cobblestone, I add it to the whole hacienda. So let's put our tools away, and we'll go get some limestone. Lots of limestone. Lots of limestone. This is to make a kern, right? Oh, gosh. Gosh. How is that so? We just dropped it in the lake. I mean, I heard it go tsh. Did you hear it go tsh? So it still needs more tsh. Because, for the love of Pete, man, Okay, can I dip it in a bucket? Can we do that instead of running all the way back out to the water? There's the bucket. I need the tongs so that I can follow through with this crazy experiment. Okay. Put it in the bucket. Nope, there are no shortcuts for that. So let's throw it in the lake again. Yeah, it's okay. Guess the first one just kind of sort of cooled it off. From like glowing crazy hot to just crazy hot. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh, you know what? I got too many tools and not enough space. Let's see. Let's get this kern built. One thing at a time. So there we go. I'm gonna need the kern. I'm gonna need the kern for lots of stuff, but I'm gonna want to make some ground up limestone for our initial batches of chemicals for tanning. But right now, I'm just out of tool rack space. So let's grab the tools that we'll need for forging and casting and put these over here by the space where I do the forging and casting. Oh, my hands still smart a little bit from the hot chisel. Okay, we are going to take these flax seeds and we are going to plant them. Now, like we've discussed in the past, right? There's you want soil that's going to be good for the particular soil nutrients the plant you want to grow needs. And in this case, this soil is kind of tapped out for nitrogen, but flax doesn't rely on nitrogen, right? So it'll be great. And in fact, that's been part of my problem all along, is I need more plants that aren't nitrogen dependent. And I think that's it for now. Okay, and this is, we're going to have to move all this. You're going to have to, when we start moving out of this dirt hut. We'll reclaim that space, and we'll put the bee garden there, right? It's not. Well, it is a garden to grow bees, but you know, it's going to be a bunch of flowers, and that will feed the bees, and the bees will give us honey and wax, and for a survival game, those are pretty important. It's kind of a sweet setup outside the game too, so to speak. But yeah, I was never been stung by a bee myself. I did get stung by wasps as a kid. That wasn't fun, but I never got stung by bees. I know a couple people that are really allergic to them, so probably get a lot more limestone if I take a pickaxe with me, because staring at it or beating on it with your bare hands isn't going to get you very far. So let's go. The whole region's limestone. So, you know, we just, in fact, I see some right there. So let's go. I'm not going to go cave diving, right? We just need some on the surface. Don't need a whole lot. And here we go. It is, wow. The day is stunning. It is a day to achieve great things on. Or get some limestone. But let's see. I don't see any bad guys or wolves or anything like that going on over here. So look, on a day like this, bad things don't happen on days like this, right? So famous last words. Oh yeah, this was the ruins that I dug out a while back. Okay. Oh. We got Shiver and a Bowtorn. And he took a shot at me. So, and I got a spear. I am woefully underpowered for a fight like this. So, let's not do a fight like this. Let's go over here, right? Whoa. Oh, got a little vertigo there. And vertigo is not good. So, we can pick some. We won't pick them all up off the ground, but there's these little outcroppings of dirt and stone out here that I've been whittling down for a while now. So yeah, we'll go there. In fact, I remember I removed a bunch of dirt and kind of quit digging because I didn't have a pickaxe at the time, and now I do. So we can continue whittling our way down, shaving this area. This is, oh yeah, look at that, my gears turning backwards. Bad mojo. And speaking of bad mojo, that bear just killed something. He's not, I mean, he's down there. I don't think he's gonna famous last words again, because here he comes. But I don't think he'll notice me up here. I don't think he'll come after me up here. But he is getting awfully close, and he's taking some good long peeks. Though, you know, if we're going to start leather production, bears have a lot of leather on them, a lot of hide. That could be pretty useful. So let's go gear up for battle here. Let's shields up, right? Except I left my shields at home. So Shields and phasers. So let's go put away the pickaxe, empty my pockets otherwise, because I don't have the greatest track record on fighting these guys. So, you know, prepare for a potential death. But the good news is I'm not like miles and miles away from home. So if things go sour, I won't have far to run. I'm pretty sure I set my spawn point here. Let's see if we can get this going while we're gone. How do you get stuff in here? Oh, bother. We'll come back to that. But first, let's take care of the bear situation. And oh, take them off, put them back on. That's not going to work for anybody. Okay. Oh, pelts. Those aren't hides or skins, so yeah. Yeah, let's put this back so I don't lose it. I hope I don't die, but plan for the best, but prepare for the worst. So that's what I'm gonna do. Or hope for the best and plan for the worst. That's how it works. Okay, let's go. This is the part where, if this was a Bugs Bunny cartoon, right, Elmer Fudd would be saying, "Kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit." But in my case, it's kill the bear, kill the bear. And the bear's running around saying, "Kill the human, kill the human." But only one will survive. There can only be one. This is our Highlander moment. Highlander movie, not to digress too much, I like the Highlander movie, and if they just stopped there, that would have been awesome. But they kept going and killed a fledgling franchise. So it was a cool idea. I think there was a Highlander show. I never really watched it. I don't know if it's any good. Where'd the bear go? Oh! I'm assuming he's sleeping. I don't think they die of like old age or natural causes in the game. They just keel over. It's been too much. Died of loneliness because no players interacted with him. I think they just despawn at that point. Okay, this is a good vantage point. This should give me a very clear advantage. Advantage. Oh, that got his attention. Nice. Nice again. There we go. Oh, and he took a dive. Okay. So he's already in running mode. That's a good sign. Where'd he go? So let's just finish this, right? A couple more shots, so we should be good. Oh, he sees me. Hey, hey, hey! Okay, so apparently they need to recolor him, color him pink, because it's not the Energizer Bunny anymore. It's the Energizer Bear. This guy took a lot more hits than he should have. Oh, I see him over there. And took me out. I thought for sure. I mean, he was running. Usually when they're running, that means they're close to dead. Because that's why they're running. I don't know if they heal while you're busy getting your body back, but I hope not. So let's try this again. So, you know, like if this was a wolf, the wolf couldn't get us up this thing, not very easily. But bears can climb or scale walls that are 3 blocks high, right? And now this is pretty high up, but there's still plenty of places for him to get a handhold or paw hold or whatever to come up here. Okay, here he comes. Here he comes. Man, he's still... Oh, jeez, Louise. Who is this guy? It's like the B2000. He's like the Baronator. Okay. Where's a big foundry when you need one? Where'd he go? Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. He sees me. Holy smokes, this guy's taking a beating. Keep on ticking. I'm not. Congratulations, you died. You don't congratulate people for dying. Suffered a grisly death. Yes. I do appreciate the humor. I do appreciate the humor. Not in a particularly great mood to appreciate the humor, but yeah, I get it. In fact, it's a joke I probably would have made myself. So, but I'm not feeling the mirth. Not feeling it. I tell you what I'm feeling. I'm feeling a little beat up, bloody, broken. Where is he? Okay, there's a spear. That's a good sign. Gee, he's dead. Okay. So, my guess is that this was a war of attrition. I just wore him out. He just got so tired from killing me over and over that the old guy just had a heart attack and he died. So, you know, chalk went up for being persistent and stubborn. I wouldn't recommend it as a winning strategy, but it did work in this case. So there's a big old bear hide, and now it has a head attached, which is kind of cool. Morbid. You can do something special with that, but I just at the moment I just want the leather. That's all I really want. I just want leather. Well, that did not go as well as I could have hoped. Well, certainly not as well as I would have hoped, but in the end, if you're one of those people who, you know, everything's based on results, the end result is I'm alive, he's dead, and I got the stuff. So I guess that's all that ultimately counts. But there was a lot of trauma and badness ensued. Okay. So let's get this show on the road. Man. Now, let's face it. If you've ever been to a museum, a natural history museum, right? Art museum's not going to cut it. But if you ever been to a natural history museum, if they had a stuffed bear there, or specifically a stuffed brown bear or grizzly, especially if they have it standing, they're huge. I mean, they're really, really huge. 9-10 feet tall, right? And for many of us, that's like, close to 2 of us stacked on top of each other. So I'm gonna need, oh gosh. So here's the thing. I need to fill these barrels with water. I think I can use a bucket to create a water source. And then I can just fill the barrels from the water source, right? So let's see, a la Minecraft. But in this case, the water source doesn't go away. Can I not make a... Can I not... That's not right. Oh gosh. I'm gonna have to... I can transfer liquid. So there, I put my water from the bucket in there, and I guess maybe there's a way to do it, but too late now. Luckily, one of the advantages to building on an island is the water's nearby. Drops when broken, absolutely useless as far as how to work the bucket. So we'll just run back and forth here, like a one-man fire brigade, which means if this place was on fire, it's gonna burn to the ground. That's all there is to it. Oh gosh, back and forth. It's kind of like when you move yourself, right? From like the first time I moved into my own place, here's the thing. If you ever hire, moving with your friends doesn't count. But if you ever hire somebody to move you, they got these big beefy dudes, and they're carrying everything in big old boxes, and they make it look easy, right? And they just, sweep in to your house, grab your stuff, sweep out to the truck, lickety split. Now they might pad the time a little bit because they're paid by the hour, but they make it look a lot easier. And the first time you move yourself, you try to do that, right? You use big boxes and you put lots of stuff in those boxes, and then you try moving those boxes, and you realize you would not make it as a career as a mover. So when you start moving yourself later, you get lots of little boxes and you fill those up, and yeah. Eventually, when you get even older, when you move, chances are you can afford to actually hire movers, and the whole thing goes by pretty smoothly. And your friends appreciate it, because as much as they might like free pizza and beer, truth is they're getting older too. And nobody really likes moving stuff. Your stuff, their stuff. Okay, this will turn it into weak tannin, so that's on its way. So we need another 5 bucketfuls. I think each bucket holds 10 liters. So 50 liters in a barrel. And we need to do this a lot, right? So here's... okay. For tanning, we're going to need buckets of lime water. I mean, not buckets, barrels. And we'll need barrels of weak tannin and barrels of strong tannin. So right there, 3 different chemicals, 3 different processes, that's 3 barrels. But the way it kind of works is when you put your hides in to be processed, they use up some of the water. They use up some of the chemical. And what I found is the best way to handle this You know, that's a lot of bushmeat. The best way to handle this is essentially have 2 of every barrel. So you have 1 barrel that you use for the processing of the hides, and the other is kind of like where you make and store extra, right? So when you pull your hides out of the first barrel and it's like substantially lower, you can refill it back to max and ready to go from your second barrel. And then when you empty the second barrel, you know, chances are the first barrel took all that water and it's sealed. It's going to take a day or 2, so then that's a good perfect time to take the second barrel and refill it, because it's going to take a few days too. So that's how it works. I think, you know, to be efficient, you need 6 barrels. Raw bear hide with head is the ingredient for an oiled bear. No, that's cured. So soaked. There we go. Yes, 10 liters of lime water equals a soaked brown bear hide with head. It's an ingredient for scraped hide. Huge. Okay, so we're gonna need a couple more barrels. Actually, we need 4 more, but right now I need 2 more barrels, and we're gonna use these for creating the strong tannin. But to get to the strong tannin, we're gonna make weak tannin. And what is the formula for a barrel, by the way? BAR. Let's see. There we go. Oh, okay. 3 planks and 4 sticks, which is crazy cheap, right? Well, for material. To get the planks was a bit of a pain in the butt, but we're there now. Yeah, I guess barrels don't stack. That's surprising. Okay, and then we repeat our one-man fire brigade. I've got to look up how to make water source blocks, because if this was a fortified house, I would want to dig a well in the basement, right? You know, just so we have a water source without having to leave. The safety of our walls. So we'll have to look that up before the next episode. But in the meanwhile, I'm definitely getting my steps in. Too bad digital steps don't count the same as real steps. If that was true, I'd probably be one of the healthiest people on the planet. I'd have legs that are like 3 times the size of the rest of my body. But unfortunately, digital exercise isn't going to cut it. And the exercise you get from moving your mouse hand or the buttons on the gamepad, that's not going to get you anywhere. If you're trying to burn calories, yeah, good luck. Good luck. For all those people who tried to tell me that game playing is good exercise. I will tell you what this. There was a summer games from Epics way back in the day. I had summer games on my Amiga, and the summer games was just like you would expect, right? Summer Olympic games. So there's running and decathlon and all that jazz. And to run, you had to take your joystick, and it was, you know, slam it left, slam it right. That was a step, right? So slam left, slam right as hard as you could, as fast as you could, to run down the track. And I got to tell you, I had a really nice digital joystick, so I really didn't do too much damage to it. But if you had an old analog joystick at the time, yeah, I would imagine that game killed a bunch of joysticks. You know, just people, slam it left and right as hard as they could, as fast as they could, right? Plus, that's the other thing, right? These joysticks are They're not made to be used like that. So you're trying to use one hand to just hold the stupid base of the joystick from flying around, while your other hand is busy slamming it left and right. And it just that was an endurance run as much as anything else. Oh gosh, that was just bad news. You know, my friend Eric and I, once upon a time, he went through phases. I mean, he had money, so he could afford to go through phases. And so one of his phases was he got into woodworking at one point, right? And so he had a 2-car garage, and then he had a 1-car garage. They were separate. I don't know why. And the 1-car garage he converted into a wood shop. And what he and I did is we went down to the local arcade equipment company. Now it's not an arcade, it's a company that supplies arcades, right? Games and repair parts, and they even service machines. And the reason we did that is because they sold buttons and joysticks that go on arcade machines. Now these are top of the line controllers, right? Designed to have kids bashing on them day in and day out for months and years in arcades. So this is good stuff. And then what we did is we took we had the Sidewinder controllers. I mean, this is back in the day when joysticks on computers had their own joystick port, right? It was different from everything else, long before USB. And so we got some Sidewinder game pads, and I have plenty of cereal that I can mix with this these berries. So this will be, I can just grab 16 of these. That's about half, and then add a couple more. There we go. And then let's get this going here. Ooh, I forgot. You can only stack a max of 6 into each of these. Okay, let's get this going, and then we'll put these away. Anyway, I don't have any torches on me. Okay. So we got the buttons, and we got the joystick. And then what we built for each of these, let me refresh. I refreshed the other one already. So let's put the berries back. That works. Put the rye back. Okay. And there we go. So then what we did is we pulled the cover off the controller and basically removed the buttons. We just took the circuit board from the controller, and then what we did was for the big box, for the other pieces, we made a big box, a box that was about 2 feet wide by 6 inches high by about a foot deep, and it was designed to sit on your lap, but to give you an arcade feel. And we wired buttons on the sides, we wired buttons on the top, and we laid them out in the standard arcade configuration, and the joystick as well. And then what we did was we mounted the circuit board inside the box, wired the arcade buttons that were on the box to the pads for the buttons on the circuit board, and the same thing with the joystick. That's a bunch of food. And then, where's my bowl? Here it is. And then sealed up the box. And sure enough, when you connected it to the computer thought it was a Microsoft Sidewinder controller. And, you know, you use the same drivers and everything for it. But this thing sat comfortably on your lap. And it was awesome for playing arcade games on the computer. I mean, we had put the buttons on the side because at the time there was a number of... okay. So it's getting late. So now... it's August 3rd. Next day. But there was a lot of great pinball games that were coming out at the time, and this controller was perfect for that. But it was great for a lot of other stuff too. Now I still have it, but of course I can't use it because it's still got the old joystick cable on it, and I've been seriously thinking about taking the guts out of it. Right, the old Sidewinder. Ooh, is this ready to go? 9 of 9. Okay. Taking the old Sidewinder controller guts out and buying a new modern USB gamepad and rewiring the inside. In fact, that was something I was thinking I was gonna do with Eric one day, and then of course he passed, so that's not gonna happen. But I really should do it. And, you know, I should maybe take a picture of it to show you. I might do that. I might do at the end of this video. If you stick around to the end of the episode, I may have a picture of this controller. It's just in the garage gathering dust. Anyhow. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Gosh, now I'm missing them. It's been just over a year since we lost them. We lost them 2 days before Halloween a year ago. And so that means Halloween is kind of a damaged holiday for me now, but I still enjoy it, but it's bittersweet. Anyway. Oh, gosh. Okay. So, this firewood, though, we can add to our charcoal stack. Yeah, this is something else we need to work on. We need a lot more firewood. You know, winter is a fantastic time to be indoors working at the forge, but working at the forge takes a bunch of charcoal. So, it's just a classic problem we've been having all along. There's so much to do and so little time. Of course, having 9-day months doesn't help, but there is, you can change the settings to make the months like, 30 days or something like that. You can do that, but that has ramifications. I don't know. Usually that breaks timing on stuff. Why are these all big and bushy and yellow-ish compared to all the others? Do you get more reeds if you let it grow further or something? Anyway, yeah, I can. I use Serene Seasons in my Minecraft worlds, and I love it. It's a great mod, but it took. I also use it in conjunction with Hourglass, so I changed the duration of the Minecraft day as well. And man, that took a lot of experimentation and calculations and stuff to get, and fine tuning to get that to work. And then of course it breaks things because phantoms, right? If you don't go to sleep for 3 days, phantoms come out. But the mechanism for determining if phantoms come out is based on ticks of which is an internal Minecraft clock, not actual Minecraft days. So while the calendar says, hey, it's been a day, the number of ticks have gone by, it's been 3 days. So it turns out that the way I had set it up, a single day in those worlds is the equivalent number of ticks is 3 days in Minecraft. So every night was Phantom Night, and that's why I had to turn the phantoms off. Because you couldn't go outside at night without getting bombed every single night. So, you know, the guys at Mojang's really seem to be working hard at facilitating modders, which is something that I've, you know, if you've been watching my series, you know that every once in a while I kind of get up on my soapbox and bellyache about how, you know, they don't need to be giving me, you know, white wood and creepy trees that follow me around. What they need to do is rejigger the foundational bits of the Minecraft code so that it's easier and better for modders, because that's where the real power of Minecraft lies, right? Is in that the modding community, the community as a whole. And so I think that's true of almost any game. And so any game company that kind of goes out of their way to stick a stick into the eye of modders, because, you know, they fear the modders, or they're afraid the modders are going to take away earning potential from them. I don't think they look very closely at the dynamics of modern gaming, because modders are a key element to a thriving user base, a thriving user community. And if you want people to keep playing your game well past the expiration date on the box, you know, replayability is the key. And there are some games that are imminently replayable even in vanilla form, and that's great. But most games, you know, it's like done it, seen it, got the t-shirt, and that's where the mods step in, right? Brings all new life to it, and there you go. Now, Minecraft is a game that has infinite replayability, and as a guy who's played probably dozens of full Minecraft playthroughs in vanilla, and maybe hundreds of partial playthroughs, yeah, I can tell you, you know, it does have a lot of replayability, but you know, just like most other people, Minecraft would be one of those games I played for years, and then I would take a break, and usually around every fall, I would break out Minecraft and start up a new world and run through that, and then put it away again until next fall. Until modded Minecraft, you know, my brush with modded Minecraft started 2.5 years ago, coming up on 3 years ago, and I've been playing it, I wouldn't say every day, but certainly every week ever since then. So there you go. Modding is awesome. Modders are awesome. It is the democratization of the game. And yeah, this is the part where I usually step in and talk smack about those companies that are relying on producing massive amounts of DLC. Well, lots of DLC offerings that offer small bits of DLC at a time for maximum dollars. I'm not going to name any companies, though I am thinking of one whose name rhymes with foray. Anyway, yeah, they make sure there's no bears out there. Okay, let's beat feet back to the house. Okay. Man, that bear bounced me around like a rubber ball. So important safety tip, kids. Even when you hear the ding, apparently not all dings are equal, or at least all bears are equal. It said it was a grizzly bear, so I'm guessing maybe in the game grizzly bears really are different than like brown bears and black bears, and maybe they just do have a mess of hit points. Because this one certainly took quite a few more hits than I would normally land on a bear. And I think the thing that threw me off is he ran away. Usually when the bears or the wolves start running away, they're hurting. And he ran away at one point, but by the number of hits I had to land after that, he wasn't hurting as bad as I would have thought. Okay. Limestone cobblestone, as opposed to granite cobblestone. This is the real deal. So, I don't think... Yeah, looking at the clock, we are definitely not going to be, carrying any leather today. However, I do want to, finish the basement, right? I mean, not fully finish it. I do want to add this floor, and at that point, maybe next time we'll start the move into more permanent quarters. I'm not going to live in the basement all the time, but the basement certainly has more room than this. We'll need to divide some space into a cellar, because cellars have a limited size. I don't remember what it is. I think it's like 7 by 7 by 7 or 11 by 11 by 11 or some combination of those numbers. So this is where the floor will be. Yeah, we might as well remove them all. Because we got stairs now. We won't be, we won't be using ladders as much. So 1, 2, 3, here we go. Excellent. Excellent. There we go. There's some dark corners down here. I'm going to need to make some more torches. And we'll fill this up because this is part of our stairwell, and we'll block that off. Look at this. It looks like a real house now. We still got more blocks, so see if we... You know what? So we might... I don't have enough blocks to finish, but I don't need cobblestone to do the upper floors, like I just mentioned in the past. The upper floors will be wood, so a few more stone blocks, we might be able to get the basement and the ground floor into a habitable state, and then it's just the upper floor we would have to work on. So, surprisingly, I got, yeah, I'm in pretty good shape. I've gotten further than I thought I would, so, yay. There's that. That's good. Okay. And we need more planks, because I want to make a proper front door. I mean, I got one for the dirt hut, and at some point we'll repurpose that door. But right now, let's make a proper front door for the armored house, or the fortified house. Huh. Okay. So we need some additional torches too. This will give me 7 torches. And let's go light those. And then light up the basement a little bit, because it doesn't matter, having this closed off and secured space doesn't do you any good if stuff's spawning on the inside. So we'll work on the porch later. And there we go. And then let's get these torches lit and placed. That's good enough for now. So we'll line them up in the same place they are on the other wall. And in the middle here. And then we'll just add some on the sides. I think that's enough light to keep the bad guys out. Sure hope so. I mean, we're going to find out, I guess. So look at that. Okay. Okay. Not quite ready to move in. Well, actually, I guess it is. The basement we can move into. I'm used to living in basements, I guess. Anyway, there you go. Kind of an eventful episode. Had its ups and its downs. Mostly, I was going up to get knocked down by a bear, but it worked out in the end. And yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll show you. There'll be an epilogue. I will do an epilogue where we'll show it after the credits and everything. So stay tuned, right? But in the meanwhile, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I certainly enjoyed piecing it together, and I hope you'll come back next time for the next episode of Rediscovered. But in the meanwhile, I hope this finds you and yours in good health, good spirits, and perhaps just a touch of good fortune. Cheers.